What's
Peace.
up? What's up? Sharif Sakar, 144,000. So yeah, we just coming at you, just trying to update, hit on things that's going on right now. Like we put out a whole bunch of videos on MySpace and YouTube. That's how you know it was a long time ago. It was on MySpace, the 144,000. And we was talking like about all this stuff and like higher consciousness, the the Black conscious community. It's called the conscious community. And if you don't know about that, I mean, what rock you been hiding under? Like the nations of gods and earth, Nation of Islam, Moorish Science Temple, all of this stuff out here basically belief that black people are the creators of civilization, that we're the gods, and um, magic, all of this stuff, dark magic, everything originates, flows through the black people, melanin, all of this stuff. So we're deep into all that knowledge, and we used to share everything and put that out there, and like just wanted to hit on what's going on, what we see going on today, because it's like if you don't put that stuff in the proper perspective, it can make you go crazy.
It can make you look crazy, especially like if you got good knowledge to share, good information, you well read, you know what I'm saying? You could be really effective. You could really help people, learn and, take this information that you're sharing further. That's the point, you know what I'm saying? To get the youth and the people coming up behind us to take the baton and go further with it. But what we're seeing is a lot of backwards shit. We're supposed to be a lot further than where we are, you know what I'm saying? Because we came out in our 20s, we woke up 2000, 2001, you know what I'm saying? And then everything we found out, we put it out there to share, you know what I'm saying, for the next generation to take on. But now we're seeing a whole bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like she said, it's like over a decade later, and we seeing like kind of like what's been given birth, from that era, and it's crazy because like if you out here, you know, and you get into knowledge, maybe there's so many different aspects of it, but if you're into the black power or any of that stuff, if you take it too far, you don't keep it, in balance in the proper place where it's supposed to be at, you could be out here messing up. It's just everything's got to be in balance.
Right.
It's just like if you're into health and you're into eating right and doing all this stuff, if you out of balance with that, you're gonna be rubbing everybody around you the wrong way, trying to talk trash about how everybody else is eating. There was this thing I saw on the news with this black couple had a child that had died, and the news was trying to paint it like they weren't feeding the child right, like they were vegans and they didn't want to give the child what it needed. And like I don't know what happened.
Their agenda.
Yeah, I don't know what really happened with that, but in stuff like in cases like that, I mean, like, you got to keep everything in balance. You can't go too far in one direction with anything. You know what I'm saying? So, it doesn't matter if it's working out, if it's working at your job, anything. You can't go so far in one direction that you kill yourself. If you like into like the Moorish information, there's a lot of people that think that, that black people are Moors and that we created the laws and all of this stuff, and so they feel like, when they get deep into it, like they feel like they're sovereign, like they're above and beyond the laws, which I think, I can't really get into it, but I think like the whole sovereignty thing doesn't really have anything to do with us, and that's information that got mixed in there that's getting confused with a lot of people. But you see people that take that stuff that they hear online and they're actually out there talking to the police, going to court with that, and they're getting jammed up. Some people are losing their life, going to prison for that, and it's like, yo, you got to keep it in a proper perspective. If you want to learn it, you want to, take that and build off of that, that's cool. But if you go too far, you can wind up getting messed up out here or wind up just looking crazy, because like nobody's gonna believe you. Even just saying that black people are sovereign, the Moors are sovereign, that's a joke, because we don't have any army, we're not unified, we're not sovereign. And if you're like on some black power type shit, you're out here, saying you want to do this and that to the white man, you'll be looking crazy, because we're not in any position to fight anyone,
And
collectively.
word up. That's all you know what I'm saying, valid information that you should take heed to.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean not to look into that information. It's just you got to keep everything in a proper perspective. You can't go too far in anything. You know, I had this site, moresanamerica.com, and get emails all the time from people that's like really heavy into that stuff, and then people getting locked up and all types of stuff, and it's like, man, it's kind of sad to see people getting caught up like that. So you got to keep everything in perspective. If you out here, say you're a lecturer, or you're out here making videos, sharing information for people, if you don't have yourself balanced, if you like are really heavy into the information, and it's like, and it's like encompassing everything in your life, you're not going to be in balance. And then the people that maybe, like she said, could learn from you, they're not really going to take you seriously, because you'll be out here looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have your stuff together, because it's like this, like, say you're real smart, you've been studying this stuff for years, and you're real heavy in the knowledge, and you're not successful. You know what I'm saying? Like financially, because that's very important, because like wealth, it's just one part of this life, this physical life that you should master. If you're in good shape, healthy, you're eating right, you're physically fit, that's great, you mastered that. If you're like really heavy into spirituality, you're meditating, you're doing all that, great. If you're broke though, you got all those things, but you're like broke and you're doing bad and it's obvious,
struggling,
you haven't mastered that. You went too far in one direction. You got to be balanced with it. You got to do everything in balance, and then you can't be out here teaching people if you don't have that stuff together, because like, call it vain or whatever you want to, but we judge off of what we see. I mean, people could say you're not supposed to judge. That's bullshit. You judge off of appearance, because that's the first thing you see. And if you don't have it together, nobody could take you seriously. So like I said, and like she said, you could have some knowledge that people could learn from, but they can't listen because you don't have it together. So it's really important, and I think that's really important for us as a people, because like the things that we've had to deal with in this country, the racism that we had to go through, it is ridiculous, and it can make anyone go crazy. There was this experiment by this anthropologist, this older white woman, where she had the whole class like do this experiment where she just discriminated against them off of eye color, and the white people in there were crying, and it was just like a short little experiment, so they couldn't handle it. So it's like, the stuff that as a black person, more whatever you want to call yourself, that you have to deal with, and not just in this country but in the world, it's crazy, it's ridiculous, and a lot of people wouldn't be able to deal with it. So I get it. So getting into this information, you may go crazy if you don't keep things in the proper perspective. It's like if you're black, you want to belong to something, you find out that you're really the Israelites or the Moors or the ancient Cometians, Kemet, whatever, whatever you're into.
Makes you feel good, because your whole
great.
life you've been told you're not shit. You don't belong to nothing. You came from nothing. So yeah, we get it. We were hyped like that too when we came in our knowledge. But you don't get on people's nerves. You don't rub people the wrong way. You don't burn bridges. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta function in this world. You still gotta make money, currency. You still gotta be fucking reliable and dependable and successful.
Hell yeah, because it's like, you hearing it, all you gotta do is, just be black because you got melanin, and that makes you God, and we the creators of this. You're hearing all this stuff, and that could feel good, and it could feel great, and it makes sense. It makes perfect sense why you would gravitate to that, because of all the stuff that you have to go through. It's a psychotic way to live, and nobody, I don't think anyone else could deal with what we deal with and be straight, so it makes sense that people would gravitate to that, and that's why you have to hear this message. If you don't get that on your own, if you don't automatically know just to put that in that place, just like you gotta work, just like you gotta exercise, eat right, that's in this proper place, it can help you, it can benefit you. But if you go so far into that shit that it starts to take over your life, and everything you do, the way you interact with people, the way you think, if you like, say you're young, you want to go to college, but you don't want to go now, you want to drop out, you want to quit your job, you don't want to work because you know too much, you're too good for all that shit. The further you go off of the further you go off into that shit, the more
Crazier your ass looks.
the crazier you look and the harder you're making it on yourself.
Right.
And you're also making it where you're gonna die, you know, because you're killing yourself. Because if I go so far into working out, I'm just so much into it, I'm doing steroids or I'm doing all this shit, you know, I'm killing myself. If I'm eating, you know, I'm trying to just eat tofu or something. I mean, anything you could go so far off into, you know, that you'll wind up killing yourself. So even if I just want to drink water and all I'm doing is just drinking water, and I'm drinking so much water, it's fucking
poisoning your system, right?
So like everything you do, you have to do in balance. You have to keep it in the proper perspective. So with that consciousness stuff, and it's specifically for us, you know, melanated people, whatever you want to call us, you have to keep that in the proper perspective. So you can't go off the deep end with that consciousness, you know. And I mean, we've seen it, we see it out here, you know, in the world, how people, it really does mess with you, you know. And it's like, you know, it makes sense. I feel you. We feel where you're coming from. It's part of the reason why we had to leave the country. You know, we had to go off and live somewhere else in Brazil for years because, you know, we're just fed up with all this stuff and learning all that stuff. There's no real solution.
Right.
You learn all that stuff, but nobody has a solution because there is no feasible solution because the solutions are individual. You have to get your shit together. You have to build wealth for yourself and your family. And, you know, when I say wealth, I mean everything, you know, spiritually, physically, you know, you have to take care of yourself and you have to build.
And stop blaming the world. Stop blaming others. It's on you as an individual to come up on your own. Like, you know, you can't do shit for nobody if you're broke. You can't do shit for nobody if you're rich. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it depends on where your head is.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because, like, I have a mentor and, like, you know, he told me some stuff that's helped improve my life, and he didn't have to, like, really say anything. Whatever he said, I just did it because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way that you live, if you're successful, right? If you're living good and you're successful and you give someone advice, they're gonna listen to it. But if you're living messed up, nobody can take you seriously. Only a fool will listen to you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when this guy, you know, said, hey, this, you do the yada 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 to get what you want, even if it sounded fucking crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like against the conventional way of thinking, I'm gonna fucking do it. Fuck that, no questions asked, you know? So if you're out here trying to teach people and stuff, you gotta take that into perspective. Like, you gotta have yourself on point. You can't be that far off.
And no matter what you decide to do, which level you decide to take it on, always put your best foot forward. You know, if like you're gonna make a video, don't make it in the bed just waking up, you ain't washed your face, you know.
Yeah.
Don't do it in front of some ugly fucking dumpster type shit, you know.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do something, do the best. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Make it look great, because you never know who you're gonna touch. You never know who's gonna impact. You never know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We get tons of emails. We get tons of phone calls. We get tons from people from all over the world, all walks of life. You know, everybody appreciates, you know what I'm saying? They appreciate beauty. They appreciate balance. They appreciate a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because the quality is good.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
like,
the product is quality product, and it's like you can't sell your shit if it's on some bum level.
yeah, if you putting a product out here where there's information, lectures, whatever, yeah, you can't wonder why you're not successful or where you want to be at, or hate if you see other people who do what you do that are succeeding, because you have to bring value to the world, you know. And if you're not doing things to the best of your ability, like she said, you're not looking good, you're not in a good position, you're not physically, you know, doing good, you're not convincing to people, and so
Right.
you're not putting out the best product, you know. It's just like these YouTube videos. I mean, if you hear a bunch of crazy stuff going on and low quality and stuff, you're not even going to want to watch it. And we're not lecturers, you know, not even out here publicly speaking doing that. But if you are, you can't like say it's the man holding you down or any of that stuff, or people hating because you're so real. You know, it doesn't work like that. Because if you really are up on the knowledge and you're saying that you're God and or that God incarnated through you on the physical earth, then nothing can stop you.
Right.
The mind is the most powerful thing in the world. We're connected to everything. The universal mind runs through everything.
Listen.
And I know this, so I'm not blaming any failures or anything on anyone. We're all connected. I'm connected to everything in different dimensions, different planets, everything on this earth. So there's nothing that can stop me from being successful. There's nothing that can stop you from being successful. And then it doesn't even matter what race you are. But if you want to just focus on black people, fine, you black, you're a god. Then don't blame the man or the cracker or the beast or any of that shit for your failures. You can't blame anyone. You can't blame other black people hating on you. You can't blame anyone because you're a god. You're a creator. You create your reality with your thoughts when you speak. If you're only speaking on the negativity or you're always blaming other people, you're making that problem that you perceive in your life be even bigger and greater than it is. You're building up your enemy to be even bigger than it is, just by your words, because you actually believe that somebody could hate on you, or that you could be held back because you're so real, because you got too much knowledge or some shit.
Right.
Whatever you're convincing yourself, that's your reality. You have to live with it. You have to deal with it. So if you're a creator, you're a conscious creator because you're aware that you're creating, because most of us aren't even aware that we're creating our life. So if you're aware that you can create your reality, why aren't you creating the reality that you want? What's the excuse? You can only look in the mirror. It's just like there was this I'm not gonna quote directly, but Neville Goddard, when he was explaining like how you know, if you wanna change your life, you could actually shave your face, or you could shave the image of you in the mirror. The whole outside world is just a mirror of what's going on inside you in your own mind. So if you want to blame things around you, you will never get what you want in life. Okay, so that was just some advice for everyone out there.
Jules.
Regardless of who you are, you can use that. There's no excuse, there's no blaming, none of that stuff, you know. And if everybody, actually, if we would all get that knowledge, we wouldn't have any problems. We wouldn't need to be like Black Power or any of that shit, because whatever we want, we can have it. We can create our reality. Okay, so everyone out there, take that and use that, you know. And if you have this knowledge already, then what are you saying? All right, so that's really all we had to say. That's also why we created the 40-day master system.
Cop that.
Yeah, for
You
real.
need that.
Because you need to do that. Put that to work to help you change your subconscious mind and mold your mind, you know, to change whatever bad habits, whatever limiting beliefs that you have that are holding you back. That's it.